everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Sharon and this is a channel that is dedicated to all things related to narcissism. I make videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on all types of topics related to narcissism, so if you haven't already, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any videos. Yesterday, I read a quote by the artist Michelangelo. He said, "If people knew how hard I had to work to gain my mastery, it wouldn't seem so wonderful after all." I can see that because people, and I'm certainly guilty of this, although perhaps not anymore, tend to believe that somebody who has massive and obvious talent didn't work for it. They received the talent, the success as a gift from God maybe. Somehow, effortlessly, some people can carve exquisite sculptures out of marble, shoot basket after basket on the court, all without lifting a finger to make it happen. Still, if you read about these same people, you will pretty quickly realize that they all have something else besides their talent in common. They all have incredible drive and ambition. They work. I've heard it said many times, millionaires don't sleep 8 hours a night. When it comes down to it, our life is to a large degree a product of our decisions. Our goals drive our behavior, and who we are on the inside is very apparent on the outside. So far, I've spoken of incredible talent for something accepted and positive as good. But what if you have drive and ambition, but it's for something not readily accepted as good and special? What if what you work hard at is cruelty, being the cruelest person you can be? It sounds nuts to think of somebody focusing their drive and ambition on hurting other people, but imagine if you put thought and time into how you could make other people suffer. Imagine if coupled with that, you lack the basic humanity components, love and empathy. I mean, really think about that. That's what we're going to discuss today, the cruelty of a narcissist. The reality is that anything that you practice, you can get really good at. And for anyone familiar with a narcissist, you know they're not shy when it comes to cruelty. They excel at it, actually. Last night, I told my daughter that I was going to be making my next video on cruelty, and I asked her what she thought was the cruelest thing her father had done. Right away, she came up with silent treatment. Now, just as a little aside, she grew up watching me be ignored. And the thing about my ex is that even when he was giving me a silent treatment, he would text me that he was on his way home from work. So he would send me 2 texts every day on his way home. The first one would just say, it would be one word, leaving. Then, we used to live in New Hampshire and my ex worked in Boston. So when we lived together, he worked about an hour from the house. So he would text me when he was in Boston leaving. And then when he got into town, in the town we lived in New Hampshire, he would text again and it would just say in town. So I never understood what he was trying to do. Was he trying to intimidate me? Was he trying to scare me? Or was he thinking I'm actually not giving her a silent treatment because I'm communicating to her? I'm still letting her know I'm on my way home. For some reason, though, I have seared in my mind one particular time I was with my daughter and one of those texts came in. As soon as I got the text, I burst into tears. Terror came over me. That's how my daughter grew up. Now she's been experiencing a silent treatment. Hers has been going on for 2 years. 2 years with one brief fake email for the court's benefit. However, after my daughter said silent treatment, she quickly left it and said, no, maybe it was how he would ruin entire weekends by being in a bad mood. If he was in a bad mood, the whole house was affected. Then she decided, no, actually the worst thing he did was to literally take everything from us. My ex stole money, not only from me, but from our children. He took the money that he had any control over. He stole from his own children. Now that shocks and stuns me, but at the same time, I understand that that's pretty much business as usual. Joe's had the exact same experience with his ex. A narcissist doesn't care about anybody, and it's difficult for me to really comprehend that when it comes to their children. I remember when I was pregnant with my kids, and I just found out I was pregnant. So I was just a few weeks pregnant, and already I had this love and protection for my unborn child. So it's difficult for me when I think about that from that time period. And then when they're actually born and growing up, and you want the best for your child, or most people do. A narcissist really doesn't. They look at their child as a commodity, something that they can take from, something that they can use. So taking money from their children, it's nothing. It's another way for them to get things that they need. So he stole money from his kids, no big deal to him. But not only that, he stole our home, our friends, because we were forced to leave the state to escape. My daughter said to me, "Mom, he took everything that didn't have a heartbeat." Now, when she said that, it's like she punched me in the stomach, but she was right. A narcissist has no conscience. The very people that they should be protecting, they destroy, or they try to, and make no mistake about it, they really want to hurt us. Now, when I say a narcissist is cruel, that doesn't come close to really describing what I mean. Of course, for those of you who are or still live with a narcissist, you know precisely what I mean. The definition of cruelty gets closer. It's callous indifference to or pleasure in causing pain or suffering. A narcissist enjoys watching you suffer. They get pleasure, happiness when you are in agony. If they cause that agony, it's even sweeter. If you look at a narcissist, when they're ignoring you or being cruel to you, saying something terrible, you can tell on their face. They have this little glint of pleasure. Narcissists enjoy hurting you. And I get it. That's like it's absurd. No, that can't possibly be. This is my husband. This is my wife. But it's really true. When you're not a cruel person, when you don't want to hurt anybody, especially the people closest to you, it is so difficult to really understand this. And so many of us do now what I used to do. I used to wonder, really wonder, does he know he's hurting me? I thought to myself, he must not know. He can't possibly know. If he knew how much pain I was really in, he would never be this way. We tend to judge other people how we are. And we not only wouldn't want to hurt someone, we couldn't live with ourselves if we did. To the degree that a narcissist hurts us, imagine if you hurt someone that way. You would be sick over it. So you assume, you believe they must not know. Maybe if we gently told them, and you think of it that way too, because you're like, wow, I wouldn't want to say it. I'd have to be very careful how I say it because it's going to crush them when they find this out. They're going to be just destroyed to know that they're hurting me, that they're hurting their children. Now, before I go any further, hear me on this. I know this is something common that people ask. Does the narcissist know? So really hear me here. They know, and it is intentional. Narcissists want to hurt us. It's their obsession. During the last few years of my entanglement with my narcissistic ex, he was giving me near constant silent treatments. He watched me suffer. He saw me cry. He enjoyed me begging him to talk to me. He got off on the power. Now, I have so many regrets related to what I put up with. If you're watching this video because you're searching for answers, I'm about to speak directly to you. In the middle of my entanglement, when I first discovered my ex was a narcissist, and a lot of you know this, but just for those of you that don't know, I knew my ex was a narcissist for a while before he was officially diagnosed. My ex was officially diagnosed as having narcissistic personality disorder. Also, I was told that he was likely psychotic. So that wasn't an official diagnosis. That's what a psychiatrist told me. But he was officially diagnosed as having narcissistic personality disorder. That is important to some people to know. Just to let you know, it's not important to me that he was diagnosed officially. It doesn't really matter. I mean, I guess it's good for my court case, but for any of you who believe that their ex, their current girlfriend, boyfriend, that you're with somebody that is a narcissist, it doesn't matter if they're diagnosed or not. They usually are not. If you are dealing with somebody who has those symptoms, that's enough. Just go on it. An official diagnosis really doesn't mean anything. It's what you're dealing with that matters. The diagnosis is just on a piece of paper. What you're dealing with is in your heart and in your soul. It's horrible. So I want to tell you, so just with that said, before he was officially diagnosed, but when I knew, I used to search YouTube for answers. My ex was big on the silent treatment. And what I would do is I would watch videos I was looking for a way to get him to stop giving me the silent treatment. That's really what I wanted. I thought, all right, I have to be able to break this. There must be a way. I was looking for some magic words, something that would work, something that would break it, something. I mean, I was looking for a miracle. I was looking for something like, I don't know, some magic words I could say. And then suddenly he would, oh, I'm so sorry I hurt you. Oh my gosh, I love you. Let's start over. I'm so sorry. I can't believe I hurt you. I had no idea. I mean, it's ridiculous, but that's what I was looking for. When I would run into time and time again videos where people said, you need to leave the narcissist, this isn't going to work out, I would turn it off. I was one of those people, like so many of you, who see that 99% of narcissists don't change, and you automatically think, well, I have the 1%. I can love my narcissist well. With my patience, with my special love, this person will change. We can still have this wonderful family. Because what you keep doing, what I did, I went back to the beginning of the entanglement when he was love bombing me. And that's who I believed the real person was. If I could just get back there, if we could just get back there, it must be possible, because that's really who he is. I mean, that's what I thought. That was the real him. So I was searching for ways to get back there. That's what I wanted desperately. But listen to me. A narcissist knows what they are doing. They don't improve. There's no such thing as the 1% of narcissists who improve. I have tried to find a narcissist that has changed. I don't want to say improved. I want a narcissist who has changed, who was a narcissist and is not anymore. Now, I know I don't have to spell this out for you. 1% of narcissists would be 1 out of every 100 narcissists change. There are millions of people dealing with this. I know it doesn't seem like it. I know when you're dealing with it, you feel like the only person. There should be many, many examples of that 1%. We should be able to, there should be YouTube videos about that 1%, talking about how they changed and how they didn't know, and now they're this wonderful husband, this fantastic doting wife. Those videos don't exist. There's not a changed narcissist, not a healed narcissist. Narcissism is a disease, a sickness of the soul. It's a soul sickness. Only God can save a narcissist. And I know there will be people that will say, well, maybe God will save the narcissist. Yes, I'm not trying to speak for God here, but what I know of God is that in order for God to heal anybody of anything, you have to repent. You have to acknowledge your sin. God doesn't take things away without you acknowledging it. A narcissist would have to look at the things that they've done, the hurtful, painful, agonizing, horrific things that they have done, apologize, face it, and live like through it. Go through the recovery process. Apologize, make amends. Can you see a narcissist doing that? A narcissist blames everybody else. They are perfect. We are inferior. They're special. We are not. I mean, this is what would have to happen. And you're going to just, sorry, I'm stumbling over my words here. Don't waste your life hoping for a miracle of that magnitude. The reality is that we all want the narcissist to change, but the person who has to change is us. That's the reality. If you're with a narcissist, you are in danger emotionally and possibly physically. I know you want to hear anything other than this, but I would be lying to you if I said something else. You need to get out as soon as possible. You are living with an evil entity and it doesn't get better. I have heard of nobody whose life improved with a narcissist. It always gets worse, consistently. That's the only way that it can be. You are living with somebody, you're with somebody that is rotten inside, something that's rotten. Think of like a rotten piece of fruit. It's not going to change back into a good-looking apple. It's only going to get worse. Narcissists are motivated not by love, but by grandiosity, and they're seeking admiration for themselves, and they're jealous and insecure. Couple that with having no empathy, and you have a monster on your hands. And I'm not saying that just as a phrase, it's true. Like literally, there's a monster on your hands. A narcissist will bring you to your knees. That's your future. That is your future. And the longer you stay, the worse it gets. I do these videos to help you. I make videos that I believe would have been beneficial to me, beneficial to people who believe they are stuck, who are confused and scared, who are holding on to the hope that maybe, just maybe, their narcissist will change. The reality that's difficult to accept, but your life changes once you accept it, is that a narcissist is deliberately plotting to harm you right now in the worst possible way. Nothing is too much. Now, remember what I said at the beginning when Michelangelo said if people knew how hard he had to work to see the results he did? Similarly, we would be shocked if we really knew how much a narcissist plots and schemes to hurt us and our children. Now, remember what my daughter said. This is me casually having a conversation with her. What do you think is the worst thing your father did? And she, right off the bat, she had many things that she was listing. Our children are growing up in these horrific circumstances. They need us to get on the ball. They need us to see reality. They're all that we have. Some people don't recover. This is not anything to take lightly. A narcissist is a pain machine, and you are the target of something that has no love, no empathy. You must look at them that way. You need to harden your heart towards them and plan your escape. You are not alone. There's so many of us out there doing exactly the same thing. Leaving a narcissist is not losing, it's winning. And I know it's literally the last thing you want to hear, the last thing you want to do. But I'm telling you, after I did it, and I was terrified to do it. I was so scared. And for a long time, I didn't think I was going to be able to do it. It is the greatest thing I have ever done. It is so worth it. So take your time to plan your escape. You're leaving somebody dangerous, so you need to plan your escape. But I'm telling you, it is worth it. And if I can do it, so can you. Now, another thing I want to talk about in today's video is I mentioned in the last video I was going to talk about the child impact class I had to take. What I'm really doing at this point in my videos is documenting my divorce for people that are about to go through it, so you know what to expect. I didn't know what to expect. I still don't know what to expect fully, but as I go through it, I'm going to tell you the things that happen. So I think most states are like this. If you're getting divorced and you have a minor child, you need to take a child impact class. So essentially this class tells you obvious things about a divorce. You know that it's not easy on your child, that it's best for you to try to get along with your ex. Don't talk about, your ex in front of the children. I mean, really, it's like that type of obvious things. I was not happy I had to take this, so I kind of went into it with a bad attitude. Now, I didn't act that way. The class was on Zoom, so I logged on, and it was supposed to be 4 hours. Now, luckily, it was only 3 hours, but still, it was like, here we are. There were 11 of us. And, it was kind of weird to me because there were two couples doing it together. It just seemed so odd to me. Like, I couldn't imagine sitting next to my ex doing this child impact class, but there were two people together. So there we are. Actually, there was 9 of us because there were 2 instructors. So they just went over this little worksheet that they mailed us. And it was just, it was the most obvious things, like what I just said. If you're getting a divorce, it's difficult on your child. Your child might act out. Your child might do this. Your child might do that. It's the most obvious things. And then it was at one point the woman was saying, because what she was doing is because she could see us. There were 2 women. They could see us. But they also would have us answer questions throughout it. I think just to kind of make sure that you are not just zoning out. So one of the things that they asked, they said, so what do you think about communication with your partner, your ex? Do you think that it's important for your child to have as much communication with you as with them? So, yes, everyone. And so what I wrote, well, it's not always possible to co-parent with the partner. I was the only person that said that. And then it was funny because one of the instructors said, oh, Sharon, I just wanted to acknowledge what you said. Yes, that can sometimes be a problem. Really, these people, they're going through this. For us, when you were divorcing a narcissist, You're divorcing a narcissist because you have to, and it's best for your child to have as little interaction with the narcissist as possible. During the entanglement, when they were with the narcissist, they were abused. I mean, mentally abused. I told you my daughter, my son, have been experiencing a 2-year silent treatment from my ex right now. So these little games that the state plays, pretending that, I don't know why they think you're getting divorced, because everything's all happy and rainbow and sunshines and unicorns. But the reality is that for people like us, when we're going through a divorce, it's because we have to, and we need to do what's best for our children and fight for our children. So for me, my ex has had nothing to do with my kids, so I'm not going to pretend that we can suddenly play this game where he gets equal time with the kids and everything's hunky-dory. But the class was just basically what you would expect, a bunch of stuff that made no sense for somebody who was dealing with a narcissist. But I got through it, got through the class, it's all over. So the next step that I have to take is mediation. Now, I don't know when the mediation is. I think it's supposed to be May 16th or 17th. The other day, I got this email from my attorney. Now, I have mentioned my attorney, who I've been having several difficulties with. I had no idea I was supposed to do a financial disclosure. So in New Hampshire, the financial disclosure is excessive. I have to give my ex a full year of my bank statements, 6 months of my credit card statements. I have to give him I haven't applied for any loans, but if I applied for any loans, all that type of information. He needs 4 of my recent pay stubs. He needs my W-2s, 1099s from anything last year. Anything that I have to give him. So I've been starting to gather that information then, in the last couple of days. So that's where I am right now. I'm trying to figure out what to do with my attorney, because I'm really, really not happy with the level of communication that I'm having from her. I mentioned to you guys that I think part of the reason, she's really on a need-to-know basis. I'm not getting any regular conversation. And it's not that I necessarily want her to hold my hand, but I want her to be a little more explicit about things that I need to do. I had no idea that I had to do this financial disclosure, and this takes a lot of time to get all this information, and I'm supposed to have it relatively soon. So I've been working on that, and who knows what I have to do as I'm going, forward in the future. I think that she knows I don't have a lot of money, and she's afraid that I won't be able to pay her if it goes over the $3,000. I said to Joe, what really would have been nice is if, and because this is me guessing, maybe she's just inadequate, but it would be nice if she said to me, listen, if I do XYZ, it's going to cost $200 an hour. Is this something that you want me to do? Or would you like me to just kind of give you the information as you need to know it? I'm fighting my ex, who is a narcissist, who has been diagnosed as likely psychotic. That's no joke. This is somebody who twice that I know of was going to kill my children and I. Both times, things changed at the last minute and he was taken away. That's the only reason I think that we were safe. We were in real danger with this person. His parents are rich, rich. And they are paying for a high-powered attorney who my attorney seems intimidated with. So here I have everything against me, and I'm trying to fight this, and then I cannot get a hold of my lawyer. It's horrible. So I'm trying to figure that out. I'll keep you guys up to date on that. So that is where I stand. Joe and I are going to do a video this weekend. Looking forward to doing that. We have some fun things coming up on the Sharon and Joe Show. And I mentioned that I do have a contest coming up for the Sharon and Joe Show, which hopefully I will be announcing next week. So stay tuned for that. I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and I will see you on Monday. God bless.